Jesus. Help me, Lord.
Hi guys, I'm the Shanell Williams-Cureton here, and that's my handy dandy partner over there.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tanisha. I just want to apologize. We have really community issues. Anyway. But we ready to get started on this phenomenal webisode. I'm just, like I said, I'm thankful and I'm grateful to see another day. I'm thankful for my partner, author Shanell Williams-Cureton. It's an amazing, amazing person. Go ahead now.
I have to hook my Periscope back up, so give me a second and you go ahead and just take it away. I was initially telling them about the recap of last week and letting go, and then I was going into the definition of rebuilding.
Okay. Well, as you know, last week we did talk about letting go, and in the process of letting go, you have to rebuild some things. And I believe this is where we want to. I'm so sorry. I have to keep laughing because this just really caught us off guard. Not too long ago, but you have to substitute all the negative toxin that you had within yourself, that you let it go and rebuild that and replace it with other things, far as positive things. I just can't think right now. Shanell, please just.
No, don't listen. Don't allow what just happened to throw us off track. At the end of the day, we got this. We're here. We're back. Nothing changed. However, we just had a little minor setback. We're good. So, like I was saying, last week we talked about letting go. I am actually in the process of connecting my Periscope back up. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Like,
I have to actually do mine as well, but I do want to say, in the middle of it, anything that happens, just from minutes ago, any little thing, you have to continue to keep going. This is just a minor setback that we just had, and it just really took us like on another level. Now we just trying to like get our thoughts together. We're trying to connect with this right now, and this is what you're going to have in your life. You're going to have things that happen. What you're going to do? Just give up? You're going to stop? Stop your goals, stop your vision, stop what you want to accomplish. You can't do that. You have to just keep going in spite of. And my partner, like, even though this just happened, she still had to just keep going. That's why I love her for just being strong and keeping the videos going, because boy, I was losing it. You see, Tulu, my eyeballs is red because I was crying. I was shocked. Sorry once again, everyone.
I think my Periscope just rose up. See, I can't deal with this right now. Okay. Well, anywho, we were talking about the process of letting go, and I was telling them basically last week. We went through the whole thing about forgiving others, and before we even get to that, I know that there are some people who are actually new to these webisodes, so I do want to let you guys know. Oops, there we go. I'm back. Okay. So
okay, Periscope.
I'm back on Periscope. Yay! Ooh, wait, it says Periscope. No.
Uh-oh.
Take over this for a second, Tanisha. Let me get this together over here with this. We're talking about letting go last week.
Okay, letting go. What have you let go since you was a child? Are you still holding on to things that's going to hinder you from moving forward? That's going to hinder you from having a healthy relationship? That's going to hinder you from healthy health, because toxins, like I said, that weighs on us. It affects our body, it affects our health, and some people, not all people do this, but when they are depressed, they eat a lot, or when they're depressed, they go out in the streets and do drugs, or for attention from other people, or love from other people, or just shut themselves out from the world. So I just want to ask you guys, what have you let go, and are you willing to let that go? And in the process of you letting go, are you willing to rebuild? That's something that I must ask you guys.
So
you need to
what would be your definition of rebuilding?
Rebuilding, for instance, I had a situation where I was lost within myself, and I had to, like I said, remove all that toxin out of me. I had to let it go. I had to work on them issues. In the process, I started rebuilding my self-esteem. I started loving myself. I started doing things that I like to do. I started going out to the movie, taking myself out to eat, reading my spirituality, getting close to God. That's what I call rebuild. That's how I look at it. But for you, how did you rebuild? How did you let things go to help you rebuild?
I think for me, I had to adopt a new way of life. I had to throw away all of the old teachings that I was taught growing up. You know, growing up, we're taught totally different from the way we end up being as adults. And some people, they kind of keep the tradition going. However, for me, I could not live the same way I was taught growing up. I mean, a lot of people don't necessarily know. And for those people who don't know, I have not been like a sheltered individual. Like I didn't come from a place in life where there was, you know, money. Let's say that. Like I didn't come from a wealthy household. My situation was a bit different, and I didn't grow up with the perks of life. But I didn't let those things stop me. And I think that a lot of people in that realm of the world, they kind of allow those circumstances to hinder their ability to grow. For me, my process of rebuilding was to change my outlook on things, was to change my mentality. And to be quite honest, when I went into the industry of network marketing, that is really what made me change my mindset. Because one of the things in network marketing is you have to learn how to basically, what's the word? You have to reevaluate yourself, and you have to, what is the word? You have to take your mind and,
Look within yourself, think different. Is that the word you're looking for?
Similar, but we're just gonna go with revamping yourself. You have to really be willing to reorganize yourself, reorganize your mind in a position to, you know, allow yourself to be open to learning new things. And that was what I had to do. I had to allow myself to be open to learn new things and to accept new realities versus the old way of things. You know, at one point I used to let stress get to me. I used to let, you know, outside circumstances really hinder my growth to grow on the inside. I used to allow other people to dictate my actions. And see, that's another thing we want to talk about in the midst of talking about rebuilding, is allowing people's attitudes and actions towards you to dictate the way you act. And see, we experience a lot of this on the job. We experience a lot of it at school. We experience a lot of it, you know, everywhere we go. It's in our daily lives. So we definitely want to touch on that particular topic. But like I said, back to me and my rebuilding process, I literally had to change my mindset. So that's why I'm very big and keen on mindset training. Mindset training is very important to really be able to change your mindset. So that's where I come from when I'm talking about rebuilding.
Okay, and I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying, changing the mindset, because it's all about the mind. You know, it's all about how you think. And sometimes a lot of people don't know how to control that, don't know how to control their emotions, don't know how to stay balanced with that. And I can relate to that, you know, on a consistent basis, because when I'm thinking about something negative, I'm thinking about something that I really want to do, I react on them things, and I know it's not right. So that's a huge thing, is the transforming your mind.
That is true. And I think that it's not an easy thing. I do want, like, listen, it's a process. It is a process to convert yourself from being one way. Because remember, you didn't learn this stuff overnight. Like, this is years and years and years and years of backed up feelings, backed up emotions, backed up situations, backed up circumstances, backed up problems. Like, this is not something that just started and all of a sudden. No, it's a process. It's going to take the length of time that it took for all of this to happen to you. It's the same well, not the same length of time, but however, it's similar to the length of time that it's going to take you to change, but you have to be motivated to make those changes. You can't change overnight. Nobody can, but I do believe that it's a choice. So in certain situations and circumstances, I would say that there's a possibility that you can change overnight. For example, some people don't know, but I used to be a smoker. But I chose to stop smoking, and I literally did it cold turkey. I didn't go by day to day and say, okay, well, I'm just going to cut back on a couple of cigarettes today, or I'm just going to, no, because the week that I stopped smoking, I think I had maybe, I was going through maybe a couple of packs a week. And for me to be able to just stop cold turkey, that's a big deal. But remember, it's all about the mind. It's what you believe to be true. If you believe that, I'm trying to give a great example here, but I'm just going to keep it real simple. If you believe that you're unattractive, we're going to talk about your looks. If you believe that you're unattractive, well, how do you expect other people to feel about you? Like you don't even have the confidence yourself. If you believe that you can't do something, then better believe 9 times out of 10 you'll never do it, because you don't believe you can do it. You would never even pick up the strength to even try to do it. And see, when we're going back to rebuilding, the process of rebuilding is you have to be willing to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. And I talked about this in a previous video that I made, talking about putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations. You have to always be willing to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation in order to get what you never had, and really advance yourself and open yourself up for growth. If you are not willing to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, how can you really grow? Like, think about it. When you start a job, and I mentioned this in the video, when you start a job, you go into that job, you don't know anything about this job, so you're very uncomfortable, right? You don't know what's going on. You don't know these people. You don't understand the process of, we're going to use a fast food job. You don't understand the process of making a sandwich and rolling it up. And then once you learn, once they train you, once they prepare you and give you the ropes and show you the ropes, and you find out everything there is to know about this company, now you feel more comfortable. Now you're more confident in yourself. And guess what that creates? That creates comfortability. Like, you become comfortable. And that is a problem. You never want to be comfortable. That's why I have this motto where I'm like, listen, never settle. No matter what happens in life, never settle. Because you can come into a situation and you may be, I guess, settling would be settling for the comfortable position. So if you're in this fast food restaurant, we're going to stick with that as an example. If you're in this fast food restaurant and you've learned the rope, you become comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, post-uncomfortable, you've become comfortable. Now you have to figure out what's the next step. But some people don't try to figure out the next step. They just stay complacent because this is their safe zone. Now you're safe. You don't have to move because there's no reason to. Like, I'm good where I'm at. Some people really stick with I'm good where I'm at, when the reality is a lot of us are unhappy where we are. We're not satisfied. We're always complaining. We're always bickering about something. And the reality is, if you want more, you have to do more. In order to do more, you'll have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. And when you get into those uncomfortable situations, it's time to become comfortable with what you're doing. And when you become comfortable, guess what? That's where never settling comes in at. Now it's time to move on to another thing. Move on to something higher. If you're comfortable with being a regular employee, well, maybe it's time to go to supervisor. Maybe you've learned everything there is to know as a regular employee, and I can guarantee you, once you get the promotion and to go into supervisor, you're back to an uncomfortable state. Because one, you have to be retrained. You don't know the ropes. People are probably not going to respect you. You have to deal with that battle of, getting people to understand that, listen, I am supervisor now, so listen, you got to respect me, And some people just probably never will respect you. But however, that's neither here nor there. The point is, you have to be willing to always put yourself in uncomfortable situations to get further and to grow. So,
and I really like how you think that. It's really no different from when you've been comfortable and used to walking in the same shoes. You remember back in the day, you had a closet and these shoes or these boots that you used to wear, they was so comfortable, but they was raggedy. It's no different. And then when you finally go to the store, you're like, man, I want to go out. I want to, when I go out of town, I want to go buy me some new shoes. However, you got to break them same new shoes in, as well as you was breaking those raggedy shoes that you've been wearing for so long. It is no different. So I'm thankful that you have said that, because I had to step out of my comfort zone, far as my attitude, my thinking habits, how I act, how I look at things. Even my job, my boss tell me stuff. I'll be looking at this lady like, if you don't on my face. But I have to realize that I am changing some things about myself. And I want to recap on when you said that be complacent and being comfortable and where you are. I am nowhere near comfortable. I would never be comfortable. I would never be content. I want to continue to keep moving as high I can go. You know what I mean? Like I love the fact of growing. I love change. It just feels so good to me. I don't know how you guys may feel or how you may feel, but I know for me, I don't like working for nobody. So what I got to do, I have to get up every morning, even I have to lose sleep, just to make a living, just to create my, my own brand, whatever it is, business, books, with that too. So I just content is not me at all. Content or comfortable is not where I'm at.
So explain a little bit more about the mathematical approach to life and the way you see it.
For me, I look at it from a mathematics. Like for me, rebuilding, change, adding, subtracting people out of my life, and removing people out of my life. Dividing. Mathematics is like a problem that you gotta solve consistently until you get that equal answer. And it's the same thing with your life. Your life, you have to continue to keep adding. You gotta continue to keep molding people out of my life. You got to continue to keep changing, and you got to continue to keep subtracting people out of your life in order for you to move forward, in order for you to be successful at anything you want to do. That's how I look at it from my perspective, from life and mathematics. It is no different. It's the same. It is equal. How do you look at mathematics in your life?
Well, I was talking about it earlier about the addition, the subtraction, the division. I didn't really go into great detail. However, when we talk about subtraction, well, me and Tanisha, we speak from two different standpoints. We speak from two different standpoints. When I talk about subtraction as it relates to the mathematical approach of life, I'm thinking about the people, the things, and the memories and stuff like that you have to subtract out of your life in order to go to the next level, in order to be able to move forward with where you are. I guess when we're talking about, how can I put this? I'll give you an example for subtraction. So when I was a little younger,
I know you about to go there. That's why I was like, go ahead.
When I was a little younger, and I guess I don't really necessarily, I'm going to use a job again. I'm going to stick with the job perspective of things. Going into a job, sometimes you're dealing with a lot of different personalities, and sometimes we go into these jobs and we are easily stressed out. We're easily stressed out due to the hardships that are involved with working and, like I said, dealing with those many personalities. Sometimes you got a boss that you just don't really like. They're getting on your nerves, or maybe you're treated unfairly there. Sometimes we feel the need to subtract ourselves from the equation. Well, some things, I think there's a good subtraction and then there's a bad subtraction.
Hold on. I don't know about that, but I want you to just elaborate on that a little more when you mean the negative and the positive of subtraction.
Well, the good subtraction is when you're deleting something out of your life that is, I guess, negative, then you're putting yourself in a position where that's a positive thing. Like you, oh God, Tanisha.
Okay, well, let me step up for you just a little more so I can elaborate on that. For instance, when I was incarcerated, and I have to say this because that was a part of my life, and while I was incarcerated, I had to look within myself, and I had to figure some things out. I had to let go of a lot of people, and when I came home, I had to start all over with everything. And what starting all over means, I had to figure out ways and how I'm going to add this person in my life. What can they do in my life to help me build? Or if this person come back into my life, why do they need to be there? Why didn't I remove them in the first place? Yes, because they was no good to me. So I don't know if you're trying to go that way, or I'm not really sure, but I need you to elaborate because
that wasn't necessarily
I can speak for me, but I can't speak for you.
That wasn't necessarily what I was referring to. However, when I literally tell you I lost a train of thought, and I hate when that happens. Like, I'm sure many people can attest to the times where you can have like 1,000 things going through your mind. When I tell you, there's so much that I want to tell you guys, and so much that I want to really enlighten you guys with. And because I have so many thoughts, it's like and it's like you have to put it all together. And I don't want to say the wrong thing, and it didn't come out correctly. So moving on. Moving on. But as far as, starting from scratch, like what are some, great methods that you would suggest when, trying to, like if someone came to you and they're having issues and they're like, oh my God, I have this situation going on, like baby daddy getting on my nerves, I'm tired of my mama, this job is causing me havoc, all types of stuff. They come to you there, it's spilling the beans, giving you the 411 on all their issues. What are you going to do? How do you tell them to rebuild from that point? Do you tell them to subtract everything, or how do you do that?
I would most just have their situation and just look at the situation and ask yourself, how did you get here in the first place? That is the first thing that I would tell anybody. How did you get here in the first place? Did you recognize it before you got to this point where you ready to let it go? And third of all, what are you going to do different to get yourself out of the situation? So it's something that I always tell people, ask yourself, because you have the answers within you. You know what you have to do to get yourself out of the situation. If, like I said, if you don't, if you want to work at this job, go find another job, put a resume in. Then once again, it goes back to being comfortable. A lot of people get comfortable and working at that same location, knowing that that's not what they really want, or know that that's not what they desire. So if you want something, if you desire to have a better salary, or you desire to follow your career, go after it. Put that resume in. Go follow your vision. Make a strategic plan. Find people that can help you get there. And with family, you can't change family. You can't at all, especially if they negative, especially if they don't mean no good to you. Especially if you're moving in a different direction and they still comfortable and they still. This one thing I noticed that a lot of people with family, when you moving forward and you have a lot going on, they live in your past. But you're not going to realize that until you moving forward, and all you keep hearing is, man, I remember when you used to be like this. I remember when you used to do this. I remember, girl, when you used to smoke, because they reliving in your past and you trying to move forward. So what you going to do? You're going to continue to keep them around you? No, you have to let people, places, and things. Sometimes your family have to go. Sometimes your closest friends have to go.
Family can be literally your worst enemy. And we expect the people close, and expectations. We expect
Oh,
the people close to us to support us the most in what it is that we're doing. And the reality is the people that's closest to you are the ones that will bring you down before a complete stranger would. See, the people that's closer to you, because they know about your past, they know about, a lot of little things, and they know they have that type of influence on you, they will unintentionally, and I'm going to say unintentionally, not all of them mean harm, but you have to also understand they will unintentionally put you down. And when they do that, it really gets into your spirit. That's why I talk a lot about negative energy and positive energy, because you have to be able to distinguish through the two, and you have to be able to release the negative and intake the positive. We don't want to deal with all that negative self-talk and the negative, situations that your parents may, or not your parents, but your family may throw on you, or whatever the situation may be. Focus on the positives. Any situation in life that you go through, there's a lesson to be learned in that. And that's going back into rebuilding. When you have a situation going on, a lot of us look at those situations to be negative. Just because it's a circumstance or a situation doesn't necessarily make it negative. It may seem negative to the naked eye, but take away the illusion of it all. Take away the illusion of it all. Really look at it for what it is. It is just another lesson. There's no mistakes. There's no such thing as a mistake. It's just another lesson. Take those lessons and you run with them in any situation. Look at what's going on. Look at your role that you played in that situation. Look at the other side of the story. Put yourself in someone else's shoes. Don't just look at it from one standpoint, but you have to be able to pull out those lessons. And that's how you turn a negative into a positive. And take off those blinds.
can I say something?
Go ahead.
Can I say something real quick? Because I like how you said that. I'm gonna give you a prime example of how I said I like that. When I was in a relationship, and I was in an abusive relationship, and when finally I removed myself from it, I had to ask myself, what did I learn from that relationship? And through it all, I've learned that I've seen that I was more ambition. I've seen that I am more than what I thought I was. I've learned so much. I've learned how to love myself. I even learned how to drive a car. So I looked at that. No, I'm dead serious. I took that negative and flipped it and asked myself, what did I learn? What was my lesson out of that? What did God wanted me to learn? What did He was teaching me? And it happens even with the job I'm on today. My boss is so mean, but I'm looking at her. I'm like, what is this woman teaching me? She teaching me how to pay close attention. When I say pay close attention, I mean pay close attention to my work. It's my work ethic. She teaching me being on time. She teaching me how to not be nasty to somebody else because they nasty to me. These are the lessons. These are the things that I've learned. So I want everybody to look at, even though it's negative, look at what have you gained out of that whole situation within yourself. It's not about them. It's about you. So I want to ask you, what did you learn out of your situation in the process of all that pain, all that animosity? What did you gain for you?
You see how she threw that? You see how she threw it? We here. I'm talking, no, and I'm not talking about Tanisha. I'm talking about y'all. We here. You see how she just threw that ball back over here? Oh, she ain't right. Okay, so for me, it's a bit different. I know you mentioned something about your boss being like just on your butt.
Yes.
Listen, a lot of people, like I literally want to say about a few years ago, I want to say about 3 years. 3 years ago, I was working for Transportation Security Administration, TSA. That's what most people know them by. No one usually uses the full name. But I used to work for TSA, and I was in Brunswick, Georgia. The funny thing about working at TSA was, well, in Brunswick, Georgia, was the fact that I was surrounded by a lot of people that were, not of the same race as me. I learned a lot in that situation. I used to go to work and I used to be super excited. I was super happy, like all the time. I'm like, hi guys, just the same way I come on here and I'm like, hi guys, and just excited and enthusiastic and and just full of energy, that was me. But they didn't accept me as me being me. And I had two supervisors who were also of the same color as me. And I don't like to talk about race because I love everybody. I have to make that clear. I love everybody, every race, everything. But my two supervisors, they were both, it was one male, one female, and they were both, my color. And I found myself always getting in trouble, and I never understood why. I had never been written up or anything like that. Like, I've only had verbal meetings. Like, they would just pull me in the office so randomly for no apparent reason, and they would say, "Oh, well, so and so came here and told me you did so and so, so and so." And I'm like, I don't like it. It was so random and so back to back to a point where when I say I went to work very unhappy. I stopped saying, "Hi, guys," until it got to a point where instead of me saying, "Hi, guys," I would just kind of just walk past everybody and go straight into the training room and do my little online training. And I would basically just do my job and go home. That's all I seen fit to do. And to me, that's a very personal, like, that situation really hurt me because you put me in a position where I can no longer be myself. I can no longer smile. I can no longer be happy, all because of how other people view me here. And I did nothing to them. Like, I didn't understand it. I really didn't understand it. And every time I was pulled in the office, my supervisor, I had one supervisor one day, she pulled me into the office and she made a statement. She said, "The reason why I treat you this way is because of this." The male supervisor even said the same thing. It was so ironic, but that was the worst part of my life. Like, I had never experienced racism. I had never experienced what it felt like firsthand, and to finally be addressed with that, like, in your face, like, flat out saying, "Listen, I don't like you." And then when you it's like, what did I do? But me today, looking back, it's like I learned a lot from that situation. Instead of being angry about the fact that, I chose to resign. I ended up resigning from the job, and I said that, I'm done. Like, that was it. But I had a lot of reason to resign. It wasn't just, the things that I was dealing with at the job, but I had some personal situations that were going on at home, and it was a bit much. So when I resigned, I remember my supervisor saying to me in the car, he actually drove me. This is how, ooh, girl, this is how crazy it gets. My supervisor drove me to the Savannah location, and literally during that ride there, he made a statement. He said, "You actually lasted longer than I thought you would have."
What?
That's what he said to me. He said, "You actually lasted longer than I thought you would have." And I was like, I didn't, at that point, like, I didn't know if I should be offended or if I should be like, "You got me messed up," or I didn't know what I should have did at that point in time. I think at that point, I just I was like, you know what, I'm done with it. I felt like at that point I made the right decision. But now that I look at it, I now feel like I learned a valuable lesson. I learned how to deal with, a type of individual. I learned how to, deal with people who are not just like me. I finally seen what it was like to be judged for no apparent reason. To just be judged just for, the way you look and the way you are, and people can really just hate you just because, but that doesn't stop your mission. That doesn't stop your focus. That doesn't stop you from moving forward. And one thing I know is I am a superstar. I'm a rock star. So it doesn't matter what they had to say about me. And now looking back, like I said, I only get emotional about the situation because of the lesson learned. Because of the lesson that I took out of that. And I no longer look at it as a negative situation. I look at it as a enlightenment, something that shows you, a new way of life. You don't have to hold that type of energy, that type of negative energy towards people because of the way they are. Like, they're the ones that have to live like that. You don't got to live like that. You don't have to look at the next person and be like, oh, I can't stand. That gives that other person control over you. Like, do they not understand that when you walk into a room and someone is there that you just simply can't stand, the first thing that happens to you is your energy, your mood, everything about you just shifts and it changes because that person walked in the room. Your energy changed because I walked in the room. My energy is still the same. I'm still smiling, happy. You don't change me. So you can't give people that much power. I know someone who told me a similar situation about them and, their encounters with racism, and they were saying, like, that's the reason why I don't like so-and-so, so-and-so. And I'm like, do you not hear yourself? Do you not understand that what you're doing is no better than what they're doing? And the reality is, like, again, you just gave them power over you. Whoever this person is, you've given them power over you. You do not have power over me. So therefore, I don't really care. Like, I wish you the best. Why would you waste your time? So, when it comes down to me, honey, look, don't get me started. I got some stuff back there. I got some stuff.
We all do have some stuff back there. And I allow a lot of people to have the power over me and over my emotions, girl. Especially when I'm on the road and I'm driving, girl, and somebody beat their horn at me or cut me off. I'm hot as a doorknob, and I let that ruin my day. I allowed them to have full control. Girl, I'm calling everybody under the sun talking about, hello, girl, why this whoop, whoop, whoop just pull me? I goes off. But once again, it's called changing the way we think and not allowing anyone to get in us or allow no one to take us out of our character. Our character is what we need to watch.
I think, and I always talk about control. I think if people realize the control that they really do have, they would think and act differently. I think they would think and act differently because in a situation like that, you have a choice. Either you could develop road rage, get upset, curse them out. They can't hear you. What's the point in doing all of that and getting yourself worked up? You're raising your blood pressure for what reason? Yeah, I just kind of don't get it. So I personally feel like this. When you change your mindset, when you're talking about changing your mindset, when you change your mindset, there's no reason to get upset or get angry. When you focus on the things that you can change and don't focus on the things that you can't. You can't change the fact that person just acted real stupid. They made a stupid move in the car. They forgot to put their blanket on, but yet they're trying to get over. You can't change that. That's their reaction, but you can change the way you react to what they just did. You can simply look and say, look at that. Oh well. As long as they didn't hit your car, what are you really fussing about? At the end of the day, you have to. They say when you drive, you're supposed to drive not just for yourself, but you're supposed to drive for the other person.
Don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me, okay?
Never to me that you got road rage and think that I'm gonna let that fly. Like, look, people be telling me, listen, if you're on the passenger side, you should stay there. I be like, so they don't mean nothing. I'm thinking about you and myself. Don't do it. But like I said, it's a mind thing. Like, you have to be put in a position where you change the way that you act, you change the way that you think. When you can change the way you feel and the way you think about things, then you can change the actions that you put behind it. So instead of looking at a situation as being negative, see the positive in it, turn the situation into a positive. So as simple as that. Like, I don't see a reason to trip out over things that you just can't change. For example, I'm going to talk about the bills. Okay, so you get a bill in the mail.
Girl, tell me about it. I got a lot of those.
You know how it goes. You get a bill in the mail, but you ain't got no money to pay the bill. So this is actually a final notice bill. You ain't got no money to pay the bill, but yet you sitting up here, you got a choice. You got a choice to either stress about it, or you got a choice to try to do something about it. or should I say, or you have a choice to just kind of sit back and wait and be patient. I mean, the reality is, if you're gonna stress about it, then don't pray about it. That's what they say, right? And every time someone says that to me, I always make the statement saying, "Look, God would have never gave us emotions and feelings if He didn't want me to feel some type of way about certain situations." But the reality is, He would never give you feelings and emotions if He didn't want you to live a prosperous life. Like, you have a choice. Let's not forget, like, you really do have a choice. So when they're talking about the bills, you're either gonna stress about it or you're just gonna, do something about it. Well, if you can't do something right now at that instant moment, it's time to that's where your patience come in at. Especially if you're already waiting on money. If you're waiting on money, okay, whatever. If that means your light's gotta get turned off for a day or two, maybe three, I mean, you gotta make that sacrifice. Just prepare yourself for when they do go out. That's changing your mindset. Instead of me getting upset about the fact that my lights are about to go out, let me hit up the store right quick. I got a couple of dollars. I'm going to get some candles. You know what I'm saying? I'll have a romantic 3-day vacation.
With those candles light. Okay, there go your little bit of light.
Here. So, I mean, it's just the way that you view things. Like, you have to take a totally different approach to the way you see things. So, I mean, I'm just one of those type of people. If you can't change it, why worry about it? At the end of the day, what's meant to be is going to be. If you believe it, you can achieve it. If you want it, go get it. Nothing's there to stop you. Rebuilding simply means to take yourself from the situation where you are and go to the next level. In order to do that, you have to reevaluate your past. Think about the things and the situations in your past. And when I say this, I'm saying this to say this is the moment of letting go. Before you can rebuild, you got to let go. Forgive yourself. Forgive whoever else it is. Then it's time to put a plan in place. When you put your plan in place, it's time to put your plan in action, because you can't just have a plan without action. It's not a plan of action. So you have to be able to put your plan in place. Tanisha actually mentioned that earlier. Once you get your plan in place, it's time to put it in action. Once you put it in action, there are unlimited opportunities that you can create for yourself. Keyword, unlimited opportunities that you can create for yourself. Meaning, you don't have to wait for somebody to come to you and say, hey, we got this job opening, da-da-da-da. No, like, if you really can't find a job right now, it's time for you to probably go in business for yourself. I mean, really, like, do you not understand the endless possibilities to that? You don't have to limit yourself to what society has brought upon you. You don't. And it's about time that people realize the power and the control they have. Huh?
I said a lot of people do, though. A lot of people feel as though that they can't do it. But you know what? I was like that. I think I told you this before, that I had a friend. We was like bestest friends, and I was ready to go. I was ready to open up this business. I was ready to do all the shows. But I had to think about it. Hold up. She wasn't as eager as I was. So once again, there you go. You got to let them things go. So now that I found you, Miss Darling, author Shanell Williams-Cureton, that we have the same mind frame. We connect on a totally different level. I mean, we goofballs, but I don't know. It's just, it's, I don't know. I just don't know. Not to cry.
Don't do that. Not today. We're not doing it today. But I know for me, I'm definitely gonna have to get on Periscope. I know that we had some technical difficulties in the beginning.
Oh yes.
I think it's okay to just let them know, like, we panicked. Sorry, it is what it is. We panicked. Tell them about your day, Tanisha. What just happened to you?
Okay, well, once again, it's a learning experience. So I knew that I had to do this webisode at 3:00. Let me tell you what Tanisha wanted to do.
Yeah, let's talk about what
I wanted to do. My little brother, they're gonna get his haircut, but time was slowly slipping away. So I only had my phone. Mind you, I had to come from the barbershop. I had to get my daddy to drop me back off at home, and I was using my phone at first, but my phone shut off. In the process, my computer wouldn't start up. So I started crying. I started panicking. It's a lesson learned. This have taught me that if you have something to be done at 3 o'clock, that means you need to be an hour ahead of that. Everything needs to be done in square way before that hour. And I've learned that. And now that it really, like, I got discombobulated, I start crying. I thought we was not going to do this webisode because of the decision I just made. I choose to make that decision to go out here knowing that I had to come and do this webisode. I still just went out anyway, thought I was grown, thought I got it like that ever. Like, it's not funny because I was really like,
funny because that's her end of the story. My end of the story, I was furious. I was furious. I was like, listen, this don't make no cotton picking sense. Like, listen, this is my Medea. She was dirty for that, y'all. Like, why would you? And she was like, but I left at 1 o'clock. And I'm like, 1 o'clock? Like, you know what time it is? You don't go nowhere at 1 o'clock. If the webisode starts at 3, you should be staying somewhere. And it's so crazy, guys. I do want to give her props because even though she did that, she still took the initiative. She jumped in on her cell phone. So because she was on her cell phone, she ended up losing reception, and she was in the process, of course, like she said, trying to get her computer to come up. So I totally get it, but don't let that happen again because we can't be disappointed.
I promise it won't. I promise it won't again. I promise. And I want to just encourage everyone that in spite of what goes on, you still have to keep going and just learn from every mistake you made. This is a lesson learned because what if we probably was still, going live and, I'm about to cry.
You okay?
No.
Why are you crying?
Because.
Okay, listen.
This is a lesson. This is a lesson for me. Like, I have no idea. Like, I really need to pay more attention and just be more on point. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, you guys, for getting a little emotional, but this have taught me. She was on time, and here I am doing stuff. Like,
well,
sorry, friend.
For all it's worth, the next time I'll speak. But we're good. She's good. She's just having a moment. She's gonna bounce back. It's nothing to be concerned about. She'll be all right. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it. But for you guys who are online right now, I am about to transfer over to my Periscope because I clearly literally just stopped scoping. Like I didn't put it back on because my phone kept freezing. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to probably do a little live Periscope. It won't be too long. I guess I'll go to Periscope and you guys can ask me questions or we can talk about some things. Either way. Got to communicate with you guys, got to connect. I want to thank you guys for coming out to this particular webisode. We will be doing another giveaway. So we will be posting up a poll question in the event section on the Facebook page. And once we post that poll question, the first person that answers the poll question will be the one to win the surprise giveaway. So we're excited about that. Will it be you? Will you win the surprise giveaway? The world's made it. Right? Like, that's my little moment. I kind of always wanted to do that, so, Anyway, moving on. In other news, so what, you got any closing remarks you want to? Oh, you know what? I got a quick question for you guys before we go. What are you guys reading? I had to ask that.
Gotcha.
Because you know what, reading is fundamental, and I'm not just saying that because I'm an author. I mean, just in case you do want to go get the book "Almost Broken: The Secrets Within," you can find it on Lulu, Amazon, Barnes and Noble. But see, that's not even why I'm saying this. What I'm saying is, what are you guys reading? And I'm talking about, productive books. This book right here. You see that? No Matter What by Lisa Nichols. I absolutely love Lisa Nichols. And I also have her newly released book, which is Abundance Now. And I literally, it is very important to read these books because you need to see the world from a different perspective. And like I talked about it earlier about learned behavior and the way we grow up, and it's time to make a change. And 9 times out of 10, your mom and your daddy didn't teach you this one. So it's very interesting. The 9 steps to living life, the life you love. So I'm listen, you guys. I'm interested to know what y'all reading. So all of you guys out there who's looking at this website right now, you can type it down below in the comment section of this video, and we want to know what you're reading. Let me know, because you guys could probably give me some good reads, and I could definitely tune into those books. But we will have our own book as well. At the end of each episode, we will at the end of each season, we will actually put together a book per season, and we will put it out there for you guys. So anything that you want to say, Tanisha?
I just want to say I hope everyone have an amazing day, and I hope everyone enjoyed this video in spite of the difficulties that we had. And that's really it. Remember that these 5 principles to living an abundance life, Lisa Nichols said. What is it? Finance, spirituality. What else again? Healthy living, relationship. What else? And love self. There you go, right there. The key word, love yourself. So I hope everyone had an amazing day, like I said.
All right, guys, so that concludes today's webisode, and we look forward to seeing you guys next Saturday with some friends. Don't forget to bring your friends, invite your friends. We could be friends, maybe meet friends, all that good stuff. But anyway, you guys, we're going to have another webisode. She's laughing at me. You guys, we're going to have another webisode next week, next Saturday at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe that's 2 o'clock Central Time. I'm not sure. But 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be doing this every single week. Next week, I think that Tanisha has learned her lesson for today, so I'm sure she's going to be on time. Isn't that right, Tanisha?
Yes, I am, madam.
All right, you guys. So you guys have a super fantastic day, and I want to thank you guys for time with us. Bye.